Today, let's talk about money. Hello, karibu, and welcome to Swahili Vibes. This is the channel where you learn how to speak simple and easy conversations in Swahili. And if it's your first time here on this channel, karibu sana. That means welcome. So today we are going to basically talk about money, but I'd advise if you haven't watched the numbers video, check it out before so that you can understand this lesson. So first of all, money in Swahili is called pesa. Pesa. And mukuchu also means pesa. So many of the times when you're interacting in the marketplace, you'll hear the word pesa or mukuchu just to mean let's talk money. Okay? Kenyan shillings in Swahili is shilingi. So every time when you're hearing an amount and then there's a shilling at the beginning, this basically is money. Just be keen on the numbers so that you're able to connect with how much that actually costs. First, we're going to introduce the currency and how the notes and coins look like so that you're able to also know how much you're getting in return when you buy something, or even how much you're supposed to give for the price or when you're purchasing something. Okay? So we'll start with the lowest value, which is 1 shilling. That in Swahili is shilingi moja. And this is how it looks like. The 1 shilling is silver in color and it has a 1 with Kenya written below it. Then we have an image of a giraffe with a tiny little tree at the end. And if you flip the coin, on the side, it has the coat of arms of Kenya and the year that this coin was produced. 1 shilling or shilingi moja is actually a very rare coin when you're interacting in the marketplace. But this will come in handy when you're in a supermarket and you want to buy something that costs over a shilling or 2 shillings. But most of the time when you're paying for a cab, when you're buying an item, probably in Masai Market or somewhere in the marketplace, you won't really have 1 shilling transactions. That's about it. So the next coin that is used in Kenya shillings is the 5 shillings. And this is how it looks. It has a silver ring and the center has a gold color. There's an image of our first president of Kenya. His name was called the late Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. And when you flip the coin, you'll see the 5 number on it with the coat of arms. And this is basically one of the smallest coins in Kenya shillings. So don't lose it. It's really sneaky. It hides in all the places in your purse or in your bag. And when you need it, you can't find it. So just keep it handy in your purse. And most of the time, this is one of the coins that you probably use while buying small things, especially around the area, around your neighborhood. Something like a sweet or like chewing gum, or even 1 tomato or 1 onion. 5 shillings in Swahili is shilingi tano. And a slang word for this one is ngovo. Yeah. So whenever you hear the word ngovo, you just know that's 5 shillings. And another slang word for shilingi is actually bob. So one thing to note, most of the Kenyan shillings coins will have either shilingi or bob at the end. Anytime you hear 5 bob, that's 5 shillings or shilingi tano. Okay, so the next coin we have in Kenya shillings is the 10 shillings coin. And this is how it looks like. So as you can see on the center, it has a silver center and then kind of like a goldish ring on the outer side. And it has the image again of the first president of Kenya, who's the late Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. Then when you flip the coin, it has the 10 on it and a coat of arms. And then right around it, you can see the Republic of Kenya and the value called 10 shillings and the year this coin was produced. The 10 shillings in Swahili is shilingi kumi. If you know the slang word for 10 shillings, leave it down on the comment and we can all evaluate and see if you got it right. The next value is the 20 shillings or the 20 bob. And this is how it looks like. If you notice, the coins are actually getting bigger the higher we go. And on the 20 shillings, it's actually a bit big and thick. Yeah, that's the word. The center part of the coin is now gold. And then the outer ring is silver. So this is opposite of the 10 shillings. And on the front, you can see the first presidency of Kenya, his image. And on the back, you can see 20 on it, as well as the coat of arms. And on the ring, you can see the Republic of Kenya, then the 20 shillings. And this actually is really common, especially if you want to buy something in batches. So 20 bob is one of those handy coins that you use, especially while in the marketplace. If you want to buy tomatoes just at the neighborhood store, this will come in handy. And I don't know if you've noticed, when you go to some of the places that they sell vegetables, they have these values written on them. So if you see 3/20, 3/10, that actually means 3 of the items for 20 shillings. So don't get confused and actually pay more than you're expected. So a slang word for 20 shillings is Mbao. Mbao. Also, there are other 20 shillings coins that have come in very recently, and on the front they have an image of an elephant as well as the 20 shillings written on it. And on the back side, it only has the coat of arms and the year the coin was produced. So there are a bunch of variations of these coins. So just make sure to check if this is an authentic one. But most of the time, coins are really hard to fake. It's not like the notes. The next value we have in Kenya shillings is the 40 shillings coin or 40 bob. And this is how it looks like. As you can see, it's pretty thick. It's thicker than all the other coins. And on this one, we actually have a new president on it, Honorable Mwai Kibaki. The center is silver, and then the outer side is kind of like goldish. So on the other side, you can see the coat of arms and the 40 shillings written on it. So that's the 40 shillings bob. This one is one of the recent coins, so the slang word hasn't really been populated yet, but I don't know, you know, slang words always come with a new generation. So I can't wait to see what the new generation comes up with. So as of now, we're done with all of the coins. If you ever find someone giving you a 50 coin, that's a fake, okay? Or a 30 coin, that's a fake, okay? So next, you're going to deal with the notes. The lowest note is actually the 50 shillings. And this is how it looks like. So first of all, it's pinkish in color. And on the front side, you can see the 50 written on it. You can see the statue of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, as well as one of the monumental buildings in Kenya called KICC. And it also has a unique code for the note. And on the left side, you can see like a line written, a line across the note. And this is actually one of the ways you can see if it's authentic. So if you get a note that doesn't have this shiny line at the center, that's probably a fake. And then this is also one of the tricks that we use as Kenyans to check if a note is real. So for example, I have this 50 shillings and then I have a light right here. The way you can check is putting your note against the light, and on the left side you see a lion. So without the light you actually can't see anything, but when you put it against the light you can see a lion kind of drawn in the hidden background. So this is one of the best ways to check if a note is real, and you can probably do this against the sun or against your phone, against the cell phone torch, so that you can know if it's authentic. So on this one you can see there's a lion in the background, as well as the CBK 50 written on it, and this is just certifying that it's from the Central Bank of Kenya and the value is 50 shillings. So this is probably the easiest way you can check if a note is real or fake, and because no one can fake that lion in the background. Okay, so on the back of this note you can see it has like a power plant on it. This is one of the power stations that we have in Kenya. Also it has a dove carrying like a leaf, and this is just a sign for peace. And other than that, you can see on the edge there are like windmills. These are probably one of the amazing sceneries in Ngong Hills. So if you haven't gone to Ngong Hills yet and you're in Kenya, come and check them out. They are really beautiful. That's basically the 50 shillings note. And a slang word for 50 shillings is chwani. Chwani. Yeah. And another one is chweza. That I actually learned today. So always, if you hear someone saying one chwani or chwani, you already know there's a 50 in that amount. Okay. So next we have the 100 note, and this is how it looks like. So right off the bat, we can see it's purple in color, and it also has the same images as the 50 shillings in terms of the KICC, the statue of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, and also 100 written on it. It also has a silver line coming from the top to the bottom on the left side of the note. And also it has the blank section where you're able to check if it has a lion in the background when you put it against the light. Oh, yeah, this one has it. So this kind of note is also really unique, especially on the back side. When you flip it, it has images of animals and of people picking tea leaves. So there are images of corn. There are animals like on the edge. You can see a cow and camels. 100 shillings in Swahili is shilingi mia moja, but mostly you'll hear people say mia moja. A slang word for it is called so. If you hear someone say so moja, that means the amount for the item is 100 shillings. Yeah. So if you hear so mbili, the amount value for that item is 200 shillings. If they say so moja na chwani, you know that means 150 shillings. Next we have the 200 shillings, and this is how it looks like. The note itself is kind of like blue in color, and it has the same image as the other notes on the front, which is Mzee Jomo Kenyatta as well as the KICC, and the value written on it, which is 200. Also, it has the silver line running across from the top to the bottom of the left side of the note, and it also has that hidden line. Next, on the back side, it has an image of children in class learning from a laptop. It has a doctor with a small baby, and also we have Kenyan athletes on the note as well, holding up the Kenyan flag. So a slang word for 200 shillings is Ruabe. The next note we have is the 500 shillings, and this is how it looks. The note is green in color, and it also has the same images on the front and with a new value of 500. So the back side of the note has a lion and has giraffes, elephants, and even the beach. It talks about tourism. The slang word for 500 shillings is punch. Yeah, punch. I know it's really funny, but that's how Kenya's slang is. It's actually called sheng. So most of the time, if you hear someone say the amount is punch, the person means it's 500 shillings. So if you're a foreigner and you probably look like a foreigner, they might bump up the price just because you're new in the place. But that's why this channel exists, so that you guys are able to know our language and interact with even native speakers in a very cordial and easy way, so that you're also getting value for your money. So remember, this one, the green one, is called punch. So the next value, which is the last one, is the 1,000 shillings, and this is how it looks like. So the 1,000 shilling note is brown in color. It's kind of like a tan. On the front side, you can see the images look pretty much the same with all the other notes, but at the back, you can see an image of a really wide building. That's actually the Parliament of Kenya, and just shows the image of Nairobi city. So 1,000 shilling is the highest value in Kenya shillings. So there's no other note after this one. The slang word for 1,000 shillings is Thao. Thao. That just means whenever someone tells you an item costs Thao moja, that means it costs 1,000 shillings. So for example, Thao mbili is 2,000, and then Thao tatu is 3,000. If they say something like Thao kumi, that is 10,000. Okay, and on and on and on. That's why you guys need to really get the numbers fast. Once you get the numbers, you got everything down. These are the official notes that are used in Kenya shillings, but there were a bunch of notes that were removed out of the system, and so make sure no one gives you any other note that doesn't look like this one, because most of the notes have a different color from the previous notes that were removed from the system. So that will actually help you to know the notes. So feel free to carry some of the Kenyan notes back home with you, and I hope you enjoyed this video to get value for your money. So thank you guys for watching. This is Swahili Vibes. Tell your friends, tell your people who want to travel to Kenya to follow this page and learn a bit more about Swahili language before they come. I'll see you on the next video. Kwaheri. Twende kazi. Money. Let me make it rain. Oh.